Make sure the white folks in your life don't love you like a dog. I got a story for you. Take a ride with me. So back in my late 20s, I was really close friends with this white guy. We're going to call him Spencer. And Spencer and I, we worked together. We worked out together. We lived a few minutes apart. Spencer was my guy. And Spencer kind of hit the father-in-law jackpot. His father-in-law, we're going to call him Dustin. He was mid-50s, but just a really cool-ass dude. You know, we'd go over his house, we'd play cards, drink, watch the game. Our whole crew would hang over there, even without Spencer. And interestingly enough, Dustin's mom lived next door to him. Now, she's older, mid to late 70s, but still sharp. And if you're at Dustin's house enough, you're going to run into her. Now, one day I'm over at Dustin's house, and him and I are sitting at his kitchen table. His wife is standing nearby. And at this point, we've known each other several years, so, he's comfortable with me. I don't remember exactly how it came up. Knowing me, I was probably talking about race because I don't hesitate to talk about race in front of white folks. But Dustin decides to tell me about the one time he used the N-word. He was a young boy growing up in Texas in the 1960s. He got into a confrontation with a black kid, and he lets it fly. Now, a young white boy in the South using a racial slur in the 1960s didn't surprise me. He surely had plenty of white men around to model that kind of behavior. But what did surprise me was the shame. 50 years later, he wasn't telling me this story casually. It felt more like almost like a confession, like he was unburdening himself to maybe one of the few people in his life that could judge him the harshest. And it felt like if he could find that guy today, he'd want to look him in the eyes and apologize. So I respected that, and I respected that he trusted me enough to go there. But here's where shit got real racist real fast. While Dustin was telling me his story, his mom had moseyed in and sat down at the table with us. And when he's done talking, she chimes in, well, that's just how things were back then. He didn't mean any harm. When I was younger, we had a nanny and I loved her to death. Just like that. No hesitation. Hardest of R's, and rolls off her tongue like honey. Dustin's face turns beet red. His wife's mouth drops to the floor. Her eyes are about to fall out of the sockets. She starts drifting back into the kitchen like Homer Simpson into the bushes. I can read both of their faces very clearly. They want her to stop talking immediately. They are drowning in embarrassment, and they want this to be over. But I did not. So I looked over at Dustin's mom, and I encouraged her to please tell me more. And so for the next 5 minutes, and I'm sure it seemed like an hour for Dustin, I listened to his mom wax poetic about all the things she loved about her nanny. Her nanny did this, her nanny did that. And it wasn't just her, all of her siblings also adored nanny. Now, with each use of the N-word, Dustin sinks deeper into his chair, and his wife, who was once standing next to us, she's now laser focused on cooking. She wants no parts of this conversation. Here's what stayed with me. Dustin's mom was in her mid to late 70s. Which means that her nanny had very likely been dead for at least 20 to 30 years. Now, while I walked away from that conversation able to give you a full list of all the things that this woman meant to that family, there's one thing that I couldn't tell you. Her name. Because Dustin's mom never used it. Not once. And that's the moment I'll never forget. Not because it was shocking, but because of what it revealed. Most people, especially white people, think racism is about hate. But Dustin's mom did not hate this woman. She loved her. She told me multiple times how much she loved her. And yet, that love didn't stop her from dehumanizing her. Not during her life, and not even after her death. And I drove home with this one question that I couldn't shake. If you loved her, why would you continue to refer to her by a slur that was forced on us at a time when we were viewed as livestock rather than people? And that's when the other questions began to come to me. Did she ever sit at your table and share a meal? Was she even allowed to drink out of the cups in your home? Were her kids able to eat the same quality of food that she cooked for you? When she got old and couldn't work anymore, did your family take care of her the way she took care of you? When she died, did you go to her funeral? How do you profess love for someone while simultaneously denying their humanity? And then it hit me. That's how I used to treat Link. Now, Link was a brown lab mix that I had for 13 years. I loved that dog, and I sobbed like a small child the day we had to put him down. Now, my family, we showed him kindness, we played with him, we cared for him, but not in the same way we love each other, because he was a dog. He didn't eat from our table, he didn't drink from our cups, he didn't eat near the same quality of food that we ate. We didn't worry about how our words would land when we spoke to him. There's a long list of customs and courtesies that you extend to humans that we never extended to Link, and yet our love for him was genuine, and his absence is still felt today. Now, the realization that I walked away with was, racism does not equal hate, but more importantly, love does not equal the absence of racism. We as human beings are very capable of loving things that aren't human. So being loved by a racist does not mean that they don't see you as less human. It might just mean that they see you as something worth loving, the way you love a dog. So be careful.